Every champ swears they'll fight anyone, anywhere, right up until their personal boogeyman strolls in. Picture Tom Aspinall lighting a victory cigar while tweeting Jones is retired. Islam Makhachev gate-crashing welterweight like he owns 2 zip codes. And Valentina polling fans on who should try, and probably fail, next. Odds are at least 1 belt melts in the next 6 months. Before we expose the 5 scariest matchups, drop your upset pick in the comments, hit subscribe, and let's stir this cauldron. Heavyweight soap opera, Tom Aspinall versus retired Jon Jones. Tom Aspinall just looked into the heavyweight crystal ball and saw no Jon Jones at all. On British radio, he declared, "Good luck in retirement, Jon. I'm the undisputed champ now." Then suggested the UFC strip the MIA legend. Fans cheered. Petitions spiked past 200,000 signatures. Jones, never shy of a cryptic subtweet, fired back that he's still in discussions about legacy bouts. Translation? Maybe fighting, maybe golfing. Nobody knows. Why it's a nightmare Aspinall's gifts? Southpaw footwork lighter than some light heavyweights. 4.07 strikes landed per minute, and the fastest finishing rate in UFC history. Jones's trump cards, 84-inch reach, top 5 fight IQ ever, and a wrestling bag of tricks Tom has never faced under the lights. Unanswered riddle. Can Tom sprawl the Jones single leg that launched 1,000 highlight reels? Or does Jon's 2-year layoff turn ring rust into a coat of full-body armor? Speculative forecast. Reports suggest the UFC is eyeing November at Madison Square Garden if Jones unretires. Until an official contract appears, the division teeters on a Schrodinger's champion scenario. Both men are champ, and neither is. But if heavyweight politics feel messy, wait until you see an entire division flipped upside down by one Dagestani tourist. Welterweight power shift, Della versus Islam Makhachev. Della, JDM, just stuffed 15 of 16 Bilal takedowns and painted his ribs purple with Diaz-style body shots. He walked out with gold and a new stalker. 3 weeks later, Dana White confirmed Makhachev would vacate lightweight to hunt a second crown at 170. Chessboard breakdown. Boxing clinic versus Dagestani dungeon. JDM averages 55% accuracy, brutal angle cuts, and a killer instinct modeled on prime Nick Diaz. Islam counters with chain wrestling so seamless, even judo black belts call it nightmarish. Gas tank paradox. Jack's last 5 fights averaged 19 minutes. Islam's longest war was only 24, but at altitude. If rounds 4 and 5 materialize, neither man has proven data beyond that red line. Wild cards. Ian Gary is chirping, "I'll save Ireland and the title." Shavkat Rakhmonov lurks, unbeaten, willing to choke anyone, including camera operators. Nightmare metric. Odds opened at -115 to -105. That's Vegas speak for "we're as confused as you." Speaking of confusion, lightweight has no champion at all, so let's crown one, shall we? Lightweight vacancy. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, UFC 317, June 28th. Lightweight hasn't been beltless since Khabib rode into the sunset, but Islam's welterweight road trip left the throne empty. Now, Ilia Topuria, the pocket-punching Spaniard who flatlined Alexander Volkanovski, is set to collide with Charles, "I'll triangle you with one eye closed," Oliveira in Vegas. Why each man is the other's worst nightmare, Topuria's terror. No fighter in UFC history lands cleaner inside the pocket. Once he's cheek to cheek, ankles go limp. His granite chin ate a Jai Herbert head kick at 155 and laughed. Oliveira's omen holds the UFC record for submissions, 20. Fires switch kicks like they owe him money, and happily pulls guard because, well, why stand when you can strangle? Key unknowns. Topuria has never faced a BJJ guard this venomous. Charles has been dropped in 5 of his past 9 bouts. One clean overhand could end it before the choke show begins. Lurkers, Arman Tisarukian, nursing only 1 loss in 6, waits for the winner. And Justin Gaethje's right leg twitches at the thought of a BMF rematch. Lightweights aren't the only ones swapping nightmares. Middleweight just scheduled the MMA equivalent of a hurricane meeting a buzzsaw. Middleweight collision course, Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Target, UFC 319. South African champ, Dricus du Plessis looks like he was chiseled out of a rugby scrum. Absurd cardio, clinch knees that dent ribs, and a block of granite head. Khamzat Chimaev? A 6-foot 2-inch Chechen freight train who has yet to lose a single first round in his UFC life. Recent footage shows he's now working under an Olympic wrestling coach, drilling double legs in a wetsuit to mimic drowning. Reports claim his camp limits sparring to prevent the cardio dips we saw versus Usman. If Chimaev's new engine holds, we may witness a 2-round mauling. If not, the championship minutes become Dricus's hunting ground. Backup plan? Nasruddin Imavov and Caio Baralho already volunteered to parachute in if visas, injuries, or volcanoes derail the headliners. While 185 burns, the Flyweight queen just outsourced matchmaking to Twitter. What could possibly go wrong? Flyweight fan vote circus, Valentina Shevchenko versus Natalia Silva. After reclaiming her strap, Valentina looked into the camera and said, "Let the fans decide. Zhang Weili or Natalia Silva, your call." The poll went live. Within hours, Silva surged ahead like she'd flash-kicked the refresh button herself. Why Silva keeps Valentina up at night? Footwork inversion. Silva circles like a hummingbird on espresso, forcing Valentina to lead. Historically, her least comfy tempo. Age curve. Shevchenko is 37. Her prime's GPS signal may be fading. Silva is 26 and riding a 13-fight streak after dismantling Alexa Grasso in a can't-blink clinic. Grapple parity. 82% takedown defense and the scramble speed to pop up before the ref even knows what happened. Contingency threats. Alexa Grasso, who's 1-1-1 with Valentina, wants revenge, and Erin Blanchfield is lurking like the smart honor student who already finished the homework. Last stop, Featherweight, where the champ keeps collecting belts and concussions. Featherweight wildcard, Alexander Volkanovski versus Jean Lord Silva. Volk just reclaimed gold with clinical leg kicks and that signature jab, but got dropped again, fueling chin-age chatter. Jean Silva, meanwhile, has stapled 13 straight Ws, finishes 75% of opponents, and trains at Colorado altitude, so 5-round lungs come standard. Nightmare synopsis. Silva's KO menu features spinning elbows, uppercuts from the clinch, and a right hand that compresses vertebrae. Volk's Achilles heel? Pocket firefights. Every knockdown on his ledger happened inside phone booth range. Betting markets opened Volk minus 180 but shortened to minus 125 after fans binge-shared Silva's elbow montage. "I'll retire before I fight him," Volk half-joked on a Twitch stream, then laughed, then looked away like someone who just glimpsed a spoiler for his own career. Rapid recap and viewer playbook. Aspinall versus Jones. Heavyweight supremacy or bedtime story. JDM versus Makhachev. Striker versus Smesh Mermaid. Pick your poison. Topuria versus Oliveira. Pocket Chaos meets Octopus Jiu-Jitsu. Du Plessis versus Chimaev. Altitude Lungs versus Underwater Takedowns. Shevchenko versus Silva. Bullet Time collides with Gen Z footwork. Volk versus Silva. King of Adjustments versus Prince of Knockouts. Engage. Comment which champ loses next and why. Which nightmare becomes reality first? Subscribe and ring the bell, because next we're unmasking 5 unranked assassins nobody's talking about yet. Remember, in MMA, the clock keeps score. The cage never lies. And somewhere out there, your favorite champion's monster is already warming up. This is Jax Teller for Behind the Lines News. 745 with